Greetings, viewer. It is I, Hilariously Scary, and today we have my September redraw. Even though it's October, that's my fault because I totally thought that there was another week in September and there wasn't. So my schedule, my what is it called? My upload schedule was wrong. So this ended up coming out in October. But to be fair, I drew this in October and I'm recording the audio right now I drew this in September and I'm recording the audio right now in September. So this is still the September redraw, even though it came out in October. But if you think about it, all of October is basically just Halloween, and September is also basically just Halloween. So if you think about it, if both September and October are basically Halloween, then they're basically the same month. So I'm totally okay to publish this September redraw in October, and that's the logic that we're going with. Anyways, so if you've been around since last September, you may remember I actually made a speed paint for the last year's, because this is the third time I've drawn this piece, but this is only the second time I've recorded this piece, and I used to really hate it whenever people would redraw pieces, and then the first two they didn't actually film, so I can't, go through and watch the process of all of them, but now here I am, being that person. Can I just say, the hand that Dante is holding the phone, every year I struggle with that hand, and this year I just gave up halfway through. I'm like, you know what, that's just what the hand is gonna look like, okay? So this is the second time I've recorded my redraw. I feel like I don't want to, I'm trying to be careful about what I'm saying, because I don't want to just retread whatever I talked about the first time around, because that could be very boring for people who've seen that video, or people who want to go back and watch that video in preparation for watching this one. So I think I'm just going to talk about the piece instead of the redraw process, because I think I talked about that a lot in last video. So if you want to see why I redrew this in the first place, and my thought process for the first two a bit and the third one, then you can watch my last speed paint from last year. But this time we're gonna talk about this one, because boy is this one doozy of a drawing. I think that this is the most intricate piece I've ever done. I don't want to say that for definite certain, because I'm trying to think, but this has so many elements. First of all, there's two characters, which automatically makes any piece more intricate. I've drawn, I think, the max of 4 characters on a piece together, but for the background I just did a really stupid I think it was a wooden background. That was one that I wanted to redraw and then I didn't. You can find a speed paint for that one though in the corner eye, if I remember it. So this is not only has 2 characters, but they're also sitting down at a table, which is something I've actually been drawing a lot more characters and more everyday poses. So I used to just kind of draw them standing up, but now I've been drawing more characters interacting with people and sitting at tables and ordering coffee and just a lot of things that incorporate more background elements, which was great because then I was able to finally get something closer to my original vision for this piece, because when I first drew it back in, I think, 2015, I had this vision of these 2 characters, and they were going to be sitting at a table in a cafe, and they were going to be outside, and there was going to be this beautiful scenery behind them, and he was going to be showing her this phone and explaining everything to her, and she was just going to be like, wow, it's so shiny. And then I drew 2 characters, and I couldn't even get them sitting at the same place, so I drew this little line and this indent so that it looks like she's sitting on a higher step or something. And last year I got closer to that because I had them at least sitting on something, but I didn't want to draw a table, so I just drew them on a bench, and then I didn't even want to draw the bench, so I just drew this weird boxy thing, and then I tried to put some stuff over it to give it texture, and it just didn't work. But this year I actually drew them at a table, and I drew a fence behind them. I think this is the first time I've ever drawn a fence. And I drew the mountains behind them, and it kind of looks cool. So it's definitely closer to my original vision. I'm really excited for next year because I think that I'm really going to be able to just finally bring everything together and create the piece that I see in my head whenever I think about these 2 characters, which is so exciting. But I do think that I got a lot closer this year, which is also really exciting. Okay, well, my neighbor just turned on something, so I guess I'm done talking. Anyways, I hope that you've enjoyed watching me redraw this old piece. If you ever feel down about your art, I highly, highly, highly recommend getting out an old piece of yours and redrawing it, because you will be amazed at how much you've improved. It's honestly amazing. Every time I do a redraw, I'm like scared. I'm like, what if it's not as good as I think? What if I haven't progressed at all? What if the old piece was better than I normally do, and then I draw it again and it just looks the same? But every time that fear is completely annihilated and I'm always blown away, and it's just so satisfying. So I highly, highly, highly recommend redrawing your own art. Anyways, that's all from me. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!